Hello guys, thank you to join me for today's session. Today's session will be the first session in our training for cybersecurity and certified ethical hacking training in 2024. In this training, I will talk in two main topics, and after that for each main topic it has subtopics, and including theoretical and technical practical training as well. This is very important because, as you know, for a future job, there's a lot of job, many of job will be obsolete or drop or will be lost, and there's many technologies will be keep on the career for future, like cybersecurity, like data science and data analytics, also for smart cities, smart homes, green energy, okay, sustainability. Those kind of technologies will keep for future, and I hope all of you will focus on who are interested in those technologies. You need to focus on them for better future. So today the cybersecurity overview, the first topic, a main topic. This will give a holistic security information about all kind of security domains and the journey, the story of security. Will give look like not low level, high level design for security for better understanding. Later on we need to focus for each security domain, but before that, to have better understanding, you know, what is happening for security, for countermeasure solutions, for example for the SOC security operating center, including SIEM, including the staff and tiers of the technical experts, for example. Also, we understand the management, board management in the organization, how they are focusing on reducing the risk of the security threat, and also how to make the security posture optimal for their, let's say, business continuity. After that, I will go to the other main topic, which is certified ethical hacking training, which is very good for most of the technical insecurity. Those technical could be sales, pre-sales, and technical, where they can contribute to their organization to stop the threats and help to make the security posture optimal as well. So next slide, I will go to this is look like the outlines of the training, the agenda. There's many modules. First module is a very important module. As I said, I will talk about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, it will be the holistic overview of the terminologies or the things for good understanding. After that, I will make introduction for networking. Then will be introduction for ethical hacking, footprinting. This is stages for ethical hacking. The first stage look like gathering information and do board scanning and so far to discover the vulnerabilities, the weakness of the organizations, where the attackers need to exploit those weaknesses to do or conduct an attack or threats. So they are scanning networks, as I mentioned, also enumeration to find the operating systems, the applications, the servers inside your organization by attackers, or maybe by ethical hacking, which is the employee of the company who do the same methodologies, tactics, look like real attackers to discover the weaknesses for the organization to make patches later on. So vulnerability analysis as well, to discover the vulnerabilities, the patches. We have system hacking to understand, to learn about system hacking, malware threats, what kind of malware threats, how we can stop it, and so far. We have many other things, look like sniffing, social engineering, denial of service attacks, session hijacking, and so far. So we'll talk about wireless, firewall, and other security controls in this domain. Also, we'll talk about web security, including hacking web servers, hacking web applications. Okay, let me make some note here. Okay, then we talk about SQL injection. By the way, SQL injection is very important. Some hackers, they are very smart enough to not hack the well-known organization because they have very strong security controls. What they are doing, they need to bypass the security controls and go straight directly to the internal server of database doing SQL injection. where it's very easy for them to steal the credential of the username, password of the other application and server, and make it very easy for them and at making an attack after that. So also we have hacking wireless, talk about wireless threat, we talk about mobile platform and IoT. By the way, I'm doing my PhD specialized in IoT security, where I am doing some research about intrusion detection in the IoT domains using machine learning and deep learning. So I am good in this domain to give you some extra information from my research where we enhance and increase your information in this domain. So we'll talk about the cloud computing as well and the cryptography at the end. Then next, I need to go to the next slide. Okay, this slide I just give information about certified ethical hacking. Okay, the company is AC Console, very well-known company in this domain. They are long time they're doing a lot of training for cybersecurity and a lot of certification. Exam and certification in this domain. And this program can aim to teach the methodologies, the tools, the tactics used by hackers to understand how they are conducting the hacking or doing the threat. Then the ethical hackers who are working in their organization can be able to stop those kind of attacks, because later in the other slide we need to talk about the hacking life cycle. We talk about attack continuum, we talk about the cyber kill chain stages or methodologies to understand all of these things. So now I need to go to the next slide. This next slide I need to mention about this training, what are the outcomes you need to learn and to gain as well. So first of all, we'll talk about theory outcomes. Okay, theory outcomes. Okay, and we have practical outcomes. The outcomes, what the benefit we can get from this training. First, we talk about understanding cybersecurity fundamentals. So you will begin to learn and understand comprehensively about the cybersecurity, the principles. We'll learn about different type of cyber threat, attack vectors, and defense or countermeasure mechanism as well. Second one, we'll talk about ethical hacking methodology. The participant will learn about systemic scanning. Also after scanning or maybe reconnaissance to gather information, and do scanning to find the vulnerabilities or the open ports in the company or the organization. After that, we'll learn about the gaining access, how to gain access after exploiting those weaknesses or vulnerabilities. Then they will learn how to maintain the access and how to cover and remove the tracks until not be discovered from the company or organization. Okay, this is number 2, and number 3, common attack techniques and tools. So the participant will learn about social engineering, will learn about malware deployment, SQL injection, as I mentioned previously. So they can learn the tools, the frameworks can be employed in this domain for better security posture or doing securing or removing the risk or minimizing the risk actually. Okay, so we have also vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. Okay, the vulnerability assessment and penetration test is very important stages or methodologies used in organization where they can discover the assets critical or classify the critical assets and their vulnerabilities in their organization, and they can find the vulnerability exposures impact, how much cost, then what the countermeasure cost, and they give a report to the management for instant response to this until they can stop the risk inside the company, okay, or organization. After that, we'll learn the concept and techniques in this domain using many tools. So number 5, we talk about legal ethical considerations. The participant will understand the implications, okay, of the ethical hacking. and also he can learn about the laws, the regulations, the policy, the best practice, and the policies governing the security inside their organizations. So the other topic will talk about practical outcomes. So first of all, the hands-on experience with tools and techniques. So the participant, he can get a good experience on hand and also learning about different variety of hacking tools, techniques, and which can control the environment against any threats. So he can gain also proficiency using these tools to mimic or simulate the real world cyber attack scenario and defenses. Because as we know previously about vulnerabilities, our risk management assessment, we'll talk later on about it. They are using some tools, and there's two methodologies how to do these things. There's one called black box and white box. The black box look like mimic or simulate the real attackers. Just we get the IP address, public IP address or domain of the organization, and try doing the same tactics and methodologies of the attackers to find the vulnerabilities as a real scenario of attacking, until they later can patch those vulnerabilities and stop this kind of attack or threat inside their organization. The other one, white boxing, which is look like risk management, look like vulnerability management, where the staff, or technical staff, or security, technical staff, they have some tools, vulnerability assistant management, assistant tools, evaluation tools, where they can find or classify the all resources, servers, applications, devices inside their networks, and they get already they know the IP addresses of the devices of the server application. They try to make assessment on them to find the vulnerabilities, the weaknesses, and maybe for applications they do dynamic and static application assessment, okay, to find any fault in coding where it can lead for example, sequence injection or hijacking, or maybe for look like cross-site scripting as well. So after that, we focus in improve security posture, okay, doing as I mentioned already, some tools to do vulnerability management and assessment, and find the most important critical threat or potential threats will be attack or will be exploit the most valued or important asset in my company, like servers and other devices. So after that, we'll effective instant response, okay, talk about it. In this topic, I need to train the training with the skills how to detect, how to analyze and respond to security incidents effectively and efficiently, okay. Then we'll talk about compliance and risk management. Compliance and risk management is very important because there's a lot of standards related to this domain, like GILBA, like NIST. Those compliance could be, there's a lot of standard frameworks, as I mentioned. There's GDRB, there's NIST, Cybersecurity Framework. Also there's ISO 27001, international standards. Also there's HIPAA, which is for medical insurance domain. Also we have GILBA and VISMA. We have BCI, DSS for bank, for example, for payment cards, and so far. There's a lot of compliance in this field. We need to, for each company or organization who will implement or deploy a security solution in their domain, if this domain related to, for example, healthcare, they need to use HIPAA standard and firmware for better best practice security. For banks, BCI, DSS, and so far. Okay. So after that, we'll talk about career advancement. In career advancement, how this kind of training can enhance your expertise and help you for your career to be unique and hunt a position or any job related to security. Now I need to go to the next slide, which is, I removed the first one. This slide related to security organization structure. We need to understand about this structure, okay, for better understanding who controls the security, the responsibilities distributed between those entities or business units inside the company or organizations. First, we'll talk about business continuity team, okay? Those are the management boards. Could be shareholder, stockholder, CEOs, directors, maybe strategic director or manager will be included in those management boards. They are responsible for their company or organization business continuity. For example, there's a lot of enterprise companies, very famous companies all over the world. If their reputation is compromised or jeopardized by any kind of risk in the company, this risk could be technical risk, look like a security risk, threats, could be strategic risk. Maybe they have wrong strategy in their organization or company, and other risk as well. So they need to verify that their own services are up and running all the time, 24 hours, 7 days, until they keep their services and keep their reputations. For example, if you are talking about bank, okay, an example, bank, if their let's say risk, they have risk of breach information or credentials for their subscribers. They have millions of subscribers. Imagine they have a risk or breach their security, and attackers or hackers be able to steal a lot of credentials like Visa card, the owner names, the emails, where he can do transaction on behalf of the real owner of this account in the bank. This will jeopardize the bank reputations, which can lead for bankrupt in the future if still this breach, or maybe can reduce the loyalty of the customer for this bank X of the bank or Y bank, for example. Okay, this is very important. That's why those organizations, enterprise organizations, they have invested money for security to make their security posture up and running and optimal level as well. And also they invest to hire a lot of staff, managers, employees, and this slide show you the ideal, okay, or typical organization for security in any well-known or enterprise company, in government, in let's say in the market as well. So the business continuity team, as I mentioned, they head some department in the organization. One department could be, for example, the chief security officer is the manager who are responsible for other sub-department in security or business unit in security as well. Also, they are managing chief security officer, CISO, will be managed by the chief security officer, and from the business continuity, the management board, I mean, okay. Also, they are managed directly to the IT management as well, okay, because those business unit in the organization, they are responsible for holistic security posture. If there's any risk, whatever kind of risk which can affect the business continuity, affect the organization goal or target or the mission or the mission. So what's happening here? This will give a daily or maybe weekly report about their security postures, and they give that their regulations, policies are not jeopardized in their networking or company. Then this posture will be in the optimal level of security. Then those departments or managers, they are responsible for what? For example, the chief also responsible for security project management, external parties who are cooperate with the organization to do some security, for example, security solutions, and they are responsible for layers, forensic system in indirect way. Okay, then there's, let's say, a team, IT team, who has a very daily task for doing operation of the networking and security to be up and running and patching the all security, hardening the security, response to the incidents inside the networks. So also they are ahead to cybersecurity, which is a very important department related to security in the organization, where those departments are managed or head of the other sub-department, okay, like Operation Threat Management and Incident Response, which is a part of SOC, Security Operations Center. Also, they are responsible for governance, for the policies and the compliance in their in the organization as well. And so responsible for the technical architecture engineers who are responsible for network security devices solution like SIEM, next generation firewall, endpoint security, email security, web security, and other security measures as well. And also there's testing and evaluations. Okay. Also, they are responsible for database management. Okay. And database management, they are responsible for their data, the company data, the organization data. Who can access the data and do authentication for their data and do encryption as well and access management on who, where, what, when, okay? And they are responsible for their data to be secured, because each entity in the organization, they are responsible for their source or resources security. Look like database, look like technical architecture, for they have, as I mentioned, network security controls and devices and so forth. This is the general talking about security company structure in any organization. Okay, and now I need to delve to another slide. Slide will be talking in details. Okay, look like lower design or lower view for what I mentioned already in the overview company structure for security. Then I will talk about more details in this slide.